Yo, it's your boy Ancient Albatross here again with the Cypher Unlimited crew. We have our usual suspects of AD or Alpha Dean, Mr. Interrupting Sally over here. And we have Spigs18 or Anthony. And I know it's been a while, guys, but if you haven't already, be sure to follow us here on Twitch or subscribe to us over on YouTube. It is a great help to our channel, and we really appreciate all the support we've gotten thus far. And a really huge thank you for anyone who's coming back to watch us now after such a long break. But all that being said, Dean, what are we doing here tonight?
Well, you forgot to also introduce the latest member to the crew, Sir Percival. But at any rate, we're hanging out tonight. We haven't been on in a while, guys, and we miss everybody so much. Life has been hectic and all, but we're just going to do a quick recap, all things Monte Cook Games, catch up, talk a little bit. You know, Anthony's going to go more in depth in what we're going to do in depth, but the overall overview is let's talk about all things MCG, and let's say adieu to 2023.
Hey guys, first off, I just want to give our sincere apologies for this month-long hiatus. You know, not only have we not been streaming, we haven't been posting any content, and me personally, I know me and Al really had some serious family issues that we were dealing with, and you know, we needed the time to get our houses in order. And with that said, you know, the world kept revolving without us. Monte Cook Games has been doing some pretty cool stuff in the time we were away. We were gone for about a month. I can't believe it. It's been a month since we posted a video. It's pretty crazy. They released 2 great books to the public. They made a game about dogs trying to harvest souls that's now out. There was a super successful crowdfunded project of a reprint of an MCG classic. And MCG just announced a very special holiday gift for charity that we're going to talk about. So let's just dive right in. And I just want to say we really thank you so much for coming back and supporting us. And we really missed you guys. You know, if it wasn't for the stuff that was going on personally, you know, we would have loved to have made content. And I just want to apologize again, you know, and we tried not to make it happen, but, you know, stuff happens, and it is what it is. But we missed you. We're back. We're ready to talk about MCG stuff. I'm excited. And first off, Al, Dean, I haven't really got a chance to chat with your guys. How the hell y'all been?
You know, man, everybody's had stuff going on. I just haven't, like you and Al kind of post a little bit in our personal chat, but it's just been busy, man. I've had to transition to over the nights, to the night shift, and I'm trying to transition back to the day shift, trying to get that set up. It's just been a lot. And of course, the new addition to the family here who has claimed me as his own. So yeah, I'm ready to talk about some MCG stuff because I'm pretty excited about stuff. I've been inspired to do a like you did with your Sleeping with the Fishes. So now I'm gonna do the Knights of the Hound Table, starring Sir Percival.
You know what's funny? That whole concept of anamorphic animals, like in modern day scenarios, has been all over our RPG games recently. I know Nerd already made a game based on the same concept. There's something Zoo. There's a couple of other ones. And
there's a game that goes way, way back called Albedo that I used to play. And it was the same thing. It was on the cover. It had bunny rabbits, you know, anthropomorphic bunny rabbits and stuff. But it was a great game from back in the early '90s called Albedo. I think it was out of Japan, but it was really a cool game.
I just want to say, I did that freaking 4 years ago.
Yes, you did. Like I said, I'm telling you, I was inspired. I was inspired to, you know, for Knights of the Hound Table.
What's up, Al? How you been? I know. You had some serious issues as well.
Been taking care of stuff at home. Not gonna go into too many details, but yeah, a lot of personal stuff has been going on. So yeah, that's why we haven't really been around too much. I will say though, in recent days, I have been revisiting my what is it, Chaos Lands, the my Merkborg inspired Cypher system thing. I made a couple rollable tables on Perchance, and I'm looking forward to revisiting it more with solo play in the coming days. I've been really itching to do more solo play, and I think that's what I'm going to do it with Chaos Lands. So yeah, I haven't really been doing too much TTRPG stuff, but definitely been feeling it this past couple like week or so. So yeah, definitely will be doing some gaming soon, hopefully.
One last thing I gotta tell you guys, I canceled my Roll20 subscription. I haven't had a chance to tell you that because yesterday I bought Foundry. So I don't know if Cat Hub's in the chat, but I'll probably try to get a hold of Cat Hub to see if he could teach me Foundry. So yeah, I just I figured it was just cheaper than paying a monthly subscription.
Yeah. So, and speaking of that, I've been doing the same thing. I've been learning RPG stories because we have it. It's so freaking cool, you know. Lots of customization. And once you get used to it, you'll love it. I think that's the one thing, the difference between like Roll20 and once you have everything set up with either Foundry or what's the name, it's just nothing to do. Like you like to add your images just to drop more stuff in. It's just boom, done. But all your functionalities are there.
Yeah, I mean, I watched the video that KedHub put. I don't know, maybe like 2 weeks ago, and I was like, "Yo, this is freaking cool, man! I just gotta bite the bullet and stop being the old grognog that I am and learn something new." So I'm definitely gonna give it a shot. So let's get right into it, guys. Sorry, we got a little sidetracked. But that's what we do at the CU. If you haven't watched any of our content, we get sidetracked all the time.
We haven't talked to each other in a while, so it happens.
I mean, we literally not only have, because I've been pretty much MIA from the server for the last 2 weeks or so, and I don't really want to get into the whole specifics, but people on the server know what was the situation going on. So it was really hectic and stressful. So I kind of just got away from social media, period, for a good 2 or 3 weeks. And I think it was just good for my mental state.
Yeah.
Definitely feel that.
I can agree. Like I said, I don't do a lot of social media, but it is what it is. All right, guys, let's talk about the first thing the first thing we have on the list. Let's talk about this.
All right,
thing on Backer Kit.
Just so I'll give a little context to all the stuff we're going on. We missed about a month and a half worth of videos and content. So everything that I included in this list is stuff that we would have made a video about and spoke about in the first place. So I put it in chronological order. So the first thing that we missed was, we didn't miss Invisible Sun coming back for the reprint, but we missed the actual end of the Backer Kit to have the discussion. So I threw this in real quick just so everyone know that we didn't forget about the amazing numbers that the reprint of Invisible Sun did. So somebody want to just go over it real quick?
Yeah, I'll jump in. I was just saying, final with Invisible Sun, the final tally was 2,522 backers. They raised a whopping $665,980, which actually was higher than the original Sun. So the reprint, the third reprint of a game, that's a premium marker, did bigger numbers than the original, which is crazy. They're saying late spring, and of course, with this project, we got a whole new product coming called the Wellspring, and that just sounds amazing in of itself. I mean, Invisible Sun is an awesome product, as we have talked about, but the Wellspring, seems like it's going to be even just that much more.
When do they plan to fulfill the Wellspring? I'll put that in the notes.
Fall of 2024. Yeah. And the Invisible Sun cubes should be available late spring 2024, and Visley kits. So for anybody who didn't, back it, if you ever get your hands on it, you're gonna love it.
Get out. Oh, he's
No,
spinning.
no, I was just spinning. Yeah.
I think he was holding the finger up like I want to say something.
He's playing with his fidget spinner.
Yes.
Now that I think about it, because when Dean mentioned off the air that it did better than the original, and I was a little skeptical. I thought the original did 900,000 for some reason. But now that I think about it, it kind of makes sense because Invisible Sun was so expensive, and it was something undone at the time when they announced the original.
2016.
Yeah, and it became so scarce and sought after by collectors after the fact that it was selling for almost $900 on eBay. That it would make sense that more people went back and backed it now because of what the monetary gains a collector would think that, oh, this is a collector's item, and if they don't reprint it again, this might shoot up to $900 again, if that makes any sense.
Well, I mean, yeah. And when you think about it, let's really look at it, as a whole. It's like, you're looking at initially it did over 600,000 initially, and it was a niche thing. Then there's the second reprinting, and people were like excited about it. But Monte Cook Games now stands in a different position with the debacle with Wizards of the Coast. So people's eyes are just more on what MCG is doing. So I think I think that had played a part as well in Invisible Sun for its third printing, for it to be, doing these kind of numbers and this kind of excitement for it. Because I've seen a lot of discussion, not just on our server, but like on the web in general.
And one thing I will say though, you were definitely right on the money on that remark, Anthony, with saying it makes sense that the later ones are more, we see more people coming into it. Because with that first run, when it was first initially announced, not only, like you said, it's never been done before, people really didn't fully know what to expect when it came to the game itself. So there's a little bit of like, is this going to be fun? Is this going to be like, is it worth to put the money into it? And now that it's been out and people have played it and see what it's like and whatnot, now there's that, hey, this is a game we can actually enjoy. So then more people come in and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Also too, I mean, let's be real. It's a luxury RPG, and that kind of wasn't done prior to Invisible Sun. I mean, I know they were expensive box sets, but not to the extent and the cost of the Invisible Sun.
If you really go back and look at it, Monty did this earlier than anybody. He did it with Tallest, the first Tallest. The first Tallest was the first time we saw a premium book released, and he released a 600-page book, and I'm talking about the third edition Tallest. I'm not talking about the reprint, and the updated for 5e and Cypher. So, Monty had a little bit of a reputation, but like you said, and like Al said, the level of what just comes in the cube is ridiculous. Anthony and I both have our cubes sitting over there, and we've been through them, and I've played using online tools and stuff, and it's ridiculous. I mean, if you haven't seen Invisible Sun and you think Tallest is jam-packed, you ain't seen nothing. That cube is expansive and massive and just has so many tweaks, dials, and bells and whistles, especially for that experience at the table. That's one thing about Invisible Sun. It really has a much bigger punch if you're doing it at the table.
Oh, Kenneth brought up a good point. He wrote that I think now that D&D crowd is getting used to stuff like Beetle and Grimm products, which is essentially luxury gaming products.
Right.
They're more accepting to these premium experiences from other companies. Absolutely. But I think Beetle and Grimm got the idea from Invisible Sun.
From Monty, yeah.
like Invisible Monte Cook Games kind of Invisible Sun made it say, hey, look, there is a market for this. So you will find people willing to spend over $300 for a RPG experience. But yeah, that's a great point, Ked. So yeah, Invisible Sun is back. They also added the Wellspring to the backer kit. It's still not. Is the backer kit closed? Can you still go back and back it, or is that over?
No, backer kit's still open. I think they leave backer kit open for like 2 months.
So if you have it and you're interested, Invisible Sun is a beautiful, beautiful game, and it's unlike any other game that you could purchase. It's literally like, bringing out your Mercedes Benz off the show floor to, it brings that big boy energy if you have that in your collection. So
and I just want to add one last thing to what Anthony's saying, because he's so right. But here's the reality: even if you can't necessarily afford the $250 price tag of the physical copies, if you can swing that $99, get the digital pack. You will not. At the end of the day, the content of Invisible Sun is highly useful, and no matter what you're doing. If you're trying to, people were on the server were talking about Magic Academies, and I'm saying, if you really want to do a crazy Magic Academy type style game, in the vein of the Magicians or Hogwarts or Harry Potter, this is a product that gives you so much inspiration. It's so easily, customizable experience. And I played in 3 different Invisible Sun games, and they've all been different, but all relatable. It's like going to different places in the world, and that's what's really cool about it.
It's worth mentioning that when they do those holiday and special bundles on Drive-Thru RPG, I know that Invisible Sun PDF bundle was on there once, and it was less than $99. So even if you don't have the $99, you every once in a while you'll be able to catch it. I think it was like $70 for everything. Yeah. So you can hold on for the deal and catch it for a lot cheaper. So the next game that we didn't get to talk about that came out while we were away was Devil's Dandy Dogs. You can now purchase that, and I personally played it. So, Al, you want to just go over the Devil's Dandy Dogs? I even have the little bio.
I'll read the little description they give for the game. And I will say, just for transparency's sake, I want to read it because I won't be able to contribute much because I have not tried it yet. So I'll let Anthony follow up with his experience. But yeah, let me go ahead and read that little description there. You are one of the Devil's Dandy Dogs, a creature made of the Devil's Shadow, and as such, you are tasked with one thing: collecting souls. You'll face myriad people. Probably a myriad of people, places, creatures, experience, and conundrums, not to mention temptations. And when you're done, the devil will want a rousing story of your exploits. Collaborate with the rest of your pack and the diviner to create the conflict, characters, and resolutions to your tale. Special dice and a tarot-style deck generates interesting twists and turns. This no-prep, rules-light narrative role-playing game is filled with mystery, magic, and the unforeseen. And a pack of supernatural dogs trying their best to be oh so good. And stuff that comes in it, the Devil's Dandy Dogs, absolutely beautiful production filled with the components that make every aspect of play a delight. And the compact box includes, you get the rule book, you get a reference book, the Soul's Arrow Cloth playmat, 11 character sheets, 4 custom dice, and over 100 cards, including Temptation, Trick, Pact of the Pack, Devil's Door, and Fate's Folly cards, plus the stunning 36 card Diviner's deck. That is a lot of stuff.
Yeah, this game is freaking awesome. And when they say zero prep, it is absolutely zero prep. I got to play it at Gamehole Con. Terry LaCour, the managing editor for Monte Cook Games, was gracious enough to run it for us. We had a blast. The artwork is phenomenal. Javier Beltran for Monte Cook Games did all the layout, and I believe he did most of the actual artwork itself too. I could be wrong, but Yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful game. Shauna Germain, who wrote it, really did wonders with this game. It's so improv. It's just a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful game. I had a blast playing it, and we should actually stream it one time if we could get like the art assets so we could be able to share the cards and stuff out. But yeah, it's freaking awesome.
I'm sure Monte Cook Games would hook us up with that. Wink.
Yeah.
But that just the premise of it, and I want to ask this, Anthony, since you've played it, compared to I'm a horrible person. What's the other improv heavy game? Stealing Stories for the Devil. I can't believe I blanked on a name. Compare the two. How are they in terms of setup, prep, like runtime, etc? Because what I'm thinking, or how I'm visualizing this game, is very similar, where you just whip out a whole box and everything's right there and there. You just whip out the stuff and you're good to go.
In that aspect, they're both very similar. Is you just whip out the box, you pull out the cards tell you. I think there's no real prep in Stealing Stories, but there's at least some initial thought from the GM in Stealing Stories when the players tell you, where the location of the heist is and what they're stealing and stuff like that. You have to think about, okay, how am I going to build out this scenario, right? But in Devil's Dandy Dogs, the players are moving the narrative even while the game is playing. Because okay, Dean.
I would say it's more like Who the Devil Are You? It's what it is. It's much more like Who the Devil Are You? Where we say there's no prep with Stealing Stories for the Devil, there isn't, because the prep is initial, where the player and the GM are basically creating the scenario together. So that's why it's zero prep. Whereas with like Who the Devil Are You or the Devil's Dandy Dogs, both of these games, literally, you got the rules in the box. You open the box, you pass out your handouts, and the game is going from that point on. I can't be. You said I'm interrupting his sleep. I'm sorry. I'm going to take you to your doggy mommy, because you can't sleep on me in the middle of the show.
Super sidetracked.
He was like in the middle of a thought and it just changed.
It's that doggy effect. We were talking about a game about dogs.
Night to the Round Table.
I really
was actually going to happen.
I really do need to I will say this, I haven't even redeemed my copy yet and whatnot. I do want to, just so I can kind of force my household to play, because one of my girlfriends in the background, I know she just overheard me say this.
It's a great party game.
Yeah, that's what I mean. This sounds like more up the alley of like just whipping out, hey, we're gonna have a fun time right now, boom, throw it out, and yeah, I'm pretty excited to try it out.
Like the perfect example would be like in Devil's Dandy Dogs, like say if the game is sounding, you have a card, right, and the card gives you like these 3 traits for your dog, right, and the ultimate goal is you trying to harvest the soul of for your master. And I know it's called Devil's Dandy Dogs, but they don't view the devil as not necessarily a negative or a positive thing. It's just someone that collects the souls of people that have departed. So there's going to be an incident, and the players dictate how the incident happened through their gameplay and their description. So as you playing, say if you're playing a rough and aggressive dog, you could say, yes, master, I would, and you describing it in the past tense. So it's like, yes, master, I was running through this alley and I saw such and such. And then another player will pick up from there. And the game master would take what everyone says and then connect the seeds, so it's almost like the players are more GMing than the GM. The GM is just there to take everyone's seeds and tie them together to form a cohesive story.
That sounds mad fun.
It sounds like a combination of Fiasco and Mad Lib.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And if you play with a group that like really embraces that fact that they controlling the narrative and adding to it, it can get really, really interesting.
Yeah,
And
right after
you
we're
know
done
what,
here, I'm gonna go redeem
have,
those.
that's probably going to be the game for our next family game night. You know, because
Absolutely a family game.
yeah, it's gonna be. It definitely is gonna be. You know, family game night.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And I can't stress enough how beautiful the art is.
Yeah,
The
I'm looking
art,
at my box right now, sitting over here just glowing.
you know, Javier did a really great job. So if you haven't checked out Devil's Dandy Dogs, it's available on the MCG site, and I'm pretty sure it's available at any of your local gaming stores, right? It's available for purchase on the site. Like I said,
Yeah,
I've been
definitely purchases were available on the site, and a few stores. I know a few of my local stores have picked it up. So
yeah.
cool.
You're looking for a quick, fast game to play, and you could, and that's another great thing. You could play a complete game in about 2 hours.
Right.
That's my
Which-
sweet spot for a session, 2 hours.
Which is
I still like 4 hours, but yeah, 2 hours would be nice too.
Just two. My mental energy can't keep up with 4 hours now.
yeah.
So let's move on to the next one, and this one I was pretty excited about. I'm happy that it's available and out. I got to get a copy of the just plain hardcover because my deluxe edition is gonna just sit there, and that's none other than the Weird. This book is chock full of stuff. I mean, thousands upon thousands of amazing ideas for any and every game.
Hold
You
on,
know.
Dave. Go into that. Go. Who wrote it?
Right. By Monte Cook, Sean K. Reynolds, Bruce Cordell, and Dominique Dickey. It's 256 pages. The PDF is $19.99. The hardcover book is $54.99. It is available right now on the CU server. I mean, not the CU server, the Monte Cook Games server.
We gotta get all the copies we sell it.
This guy.
Oh my goodness. No, I'm not talking to you. So, I mean, back to talking about what this is. Like we said, thousands and thousands of amazing ideas. I mean, literally, it's like you've already got a dragon, magic spells, alien planets, and werewolves, superheroes in your game. Why would you need it to be any weirder? Because when you get down to it, what is weird other than a new and interesting, and who doesn't want their stories and characters to be more interesting? Dragons, aliens, and planets. We've all seen them before. Sure, you can still make them compelling or create a gripping story around them, but to do that, you're probably going to have to add something new and interesting. And that blog right there basically sums up the Weird. It's a list of charts and where you can just go through and you can amp up the weirdness or crank it down. You can add little twists and tweaks. I love the superhero section in this book. Everybody know I love my superheroes.
There's over 12,000 entries, right?
Yes.
And it's organized to multiple genres. They have a whole bunch, like Dean said, there's super, there's fantasy, there's horror, there's sci-fi, there's modern, and they all add an interesting, weird aspect into your gameplay.
Remember, there was 3 levels to it. There's Gonzo, interesting, and whimsical. I believe it is.
It's fantastic for it's system agnostic, so you don't need it for anything other than you don't need it for Cypher system. It's great for solo play if you're interested in solo play. Is another fantastic element. You can use it for your solo play if you wanted to do. You can use it for D&D. You can use it for whatever game. You can use it for creative writing, and you want to put something interesting in it. This book is freaking. I thought it was going to be good, but it was a lot better when I actually read it. This is one of those books that I actually enjoyed it more.
I remember when we first did the video, and you did say that you're like, I don't know, man. I mean, the church and stuff seemed cool, but I don't know. And yeah, but you know what? We always seem to be like that. Monte Cook has a tendency to do that. Anything we sit back and be like, I don't know if that's going to be. And then you end up loving it. So,
because of the way like I'm not gonna lie, when I hear random charts, and this might be my own personal bias, but I think it's like old design. Like when somebody tells me, oh, like when somebody says, oh, I'm making this game, and you roll, everything is rolled on this random chart. Right, it reminds me of a lot of 1980s and 90s RPG design. So when I seen it done in a new and interesting way, that excites me. You know, and the way it's laid out and the way that the book is structured, it's an old concept, because come on, charts are old concept. You can't deny that. But the way the books and the category, the way it's laid out, it's definitely new age RPG design.
I'll say this about it in this respect. If you think about the old charts and stuff like that, and it's I think it's more of the philosophy that goes with charting today. When you think about it, you know, in the old times, that chart was just led you to a specific idiom or idea. You know, 10 goblins on the road are going to attack. It's a random encounter chart, you know, or random magic item chart. Where this one is more of a random inspiration. You know, these are inspirations versus just being an item or a thing or a typical encounter. These are inspirations, and what, like you said, when you said it could be used for writing prompts, you know, it could also be used in the same manner. You know, you think about it, if you wanted to inspire the party to, you know, give you more, so you give them one of these random things, one of these random encounters or random weirdness off the chart, and then have them add to it. So I think that's what it is. It's the philosophy behind what a random chart does, like how Al likes to use them for Mork Borg and stuff like that. You know, I think that's the twist and why it seems innovative and new.
Oh, I also like the way that you could use it to straight up design an adventure or a session, just by using the charts, just to give you ideas. You could use it to pull something out of in the middle of a game, and something new happens. You're going to add a twist. You could just randomly, you don't have to roll. You could just pick something out of this book. It's very useful in so many ways. And I like the concept of MCG making a book that's, hey, even if you don't use MCG cipher system, this book is still useful to you as a you know, a role-playing fan. So you don't have to be a Monte Cook Games fan to utilize this product. Ken Hub said he said the layout was a little over designed. I actually loved it, but I loved it because I love the art aesthetic because it reminds me of Ron Baudet early New York City graffiti, and I just love that art aesthetic.
You know, you got that aesthetic, and then the other aesthetic for me, it took me back to the pulp era days as well, like the old pulp books, and you know, pulp heroes, that kind of idiom and ideology. You know, I'm going to step away because I'm going to go lay him down. I'll be right back.
And I will say, just to chime in a little here, because I actually haven't looked at the weird yet. I've been saying in the text chat here that I would definitely want to crack it open tonight, because I want to do a little solo play prep. But just everything I'm hearing about it just makes it seem like it's awesome for solo play. Like I've been thinking more about solo play than traditional play lately, and this tool, the system agnostic tool, definitely up there with something you want to have in your arsenal. It sounds like, again, I haven't looked at it myself, but from the preview we got and from how everyone's talking about it, this sounds amazing, and I can't wait to look at it tonight after we're done here.
Let me ask you something. Do you think that since the Weird was so successful, and I'm asking Chad as well, would you like to see them do stuff in this vein for other, like, genres, or not necessarily genres, but like modes, like it's scary, and add a horror twist to every genre and charts to make stuff scary or horrific or something like that?
I mean, that's a cool concept, but I think it would be hard to execute and have full books, because there's going to be a ton of overlap, especially with the first one being like, it's all the systems, or you know, all the genres or whatever. Like, it's not really genre specific or anything. So I feel like it could be done, but it'll be a little difficult to again have a full-fledged out book without having a ton of overlap, especially if they plan on doing a series of them, like horrors, supers, etc, like whatever. I can definitely see there being overlap if they were to try something like that.
Yeah, I can see horror and I can see comedic. A book. If you want to add levity into a game, and there was stuff, I agree with you. It would be hard to write, to come up with as many 12,000 entries in that vein. But it would be interesting to see if they could tackle something like that.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I would love to see it. I just think it would be a little difficult.
Oh, and someone in chat just mentioned that they were looking on creating new ciphers descriptions for Numenera and forgot they had the weird. Yeah, the weird and Numenera work hand in hand. That's like the weird is tailor made for Numenera. Numenera is weird as fuck to begin with. So you know what I mean? Like I can't see why you wouldn't utilize the weird.
As like a perfect segue into the next thing. You mentioned Numenera. Al, take us away.
Yeah, the next thing was a thing that came with the weird was the Glimmering Valley. And I'll pull up the link in just a minute after I read this little thing here. And the Glimmering Valley, it's a Numenera adventure, I believe. It's something you could tuck into a campaign or whatever. But it's by Monte Cook. It is a 128-page hardcover or PDF, and it goes for $45 or $44.99 for the hardcover and $17.99 for the PDF. And this is how they describe it. It's the perfect starting point for discovering the Ninth World. Nestled in a thick forest of the Glimmering Valley, a few dozen buildings surround an ancient structure and a pair of crystal monoliths. This village of Neandrin enjoys a peaceful agrarian life. The bold or restless might occasionally head into the woods to find the dreaming cubes, see the river ring, or maybe visit the old witch in the Affinite abode. But the distant city of Ketterak and the wide world beyond it are a little more than rumors carried in by the occasional visitor. I'm not going to read this whole thing because there's a whole lot of description here, but that's a really good description. It's a nice little village that you can kind of tuck into anywhere as a good starting point for your campaign.
I could be wrong. I haven't claimed the Glimmering Valley yet. I'm definitely going to do it. I was just waiting for another book to claim it with. I hate claiming just one book at a time. And I got the coupon for this like right after I claimed everything else. So I usually wait till there's like 2 or 3 products to claim. One, it's, you're paying the same as shipping whether you're claiming one book or 3. So I always try to save a little money by claiming multiple books in my shipping. And 2, it's cool when you open up and it's like opening up a goodie bag with mad MCG products. So I like to do that as well.
Before we go on to talk about it, let me read the little bullet points so people know what they actually find within that. That's a good thing to read. I just saw that at the end there. In the Glimmering Valley, you'll find a richly detailed locale to launch a new campaign filled with interesting and dynamic NPCs, situations, and locations. A chapter designed specifically for the players to immerse them in this vibrant setting and help them create characters truly at home in the Ninth World. Loads of adventures to get your campaign off to an exciting start. Follow the plot threads or explore the vast sandbox of the Glimmering Valley. An easy on-ramp into the broader Ninth World that helps players and GMs discover what makes Numenera such a compelling setting. Fantastic for players who are experiencing Numenera for the first time. Loads of new creatures, ciphers, artifacts, and more. So yeah, on top of the setting stuff, you also get creatures, ciphers, artifacts. That's always nice to see in a book.
Like I haven't got my physical book yet either, but I did redeem my PDFs, and that's what I do a lot of times. I'll redeem the PDF so I can read them on my tablet, even though I really like reading the physical book. But the Glimmering Valley is actually a really interesting little tool, and I remember when I first announced it and they were talking about it, and because it's the Ninth World, I'm just like, I was looking at the different discussions. And people were talking about where they were going to place it and all of this kind of stuff in their, in their games. And I'm truly going to stick with my plan that my Glimmering Valley is going to be similar to the concept from Crawl. It's never in the same place. it moves, around, the ninth world. I might have like maybe 4 or 5 places, but it's going to be one of those type things that it moves at, specific times. It's going to be but it's a great opener for Cypher. I mean, for Numenera.
I think this is like if you want to start off in Numenera in 2023 or 2024, it's a good starting zone. If we're doing MMO speak, it's a good starting zone. If you you don't want to feel overwhelmed with all the prior Numenera books, and you just got Discovery and Destiny, and you want a starting zone area, has a starter adventure in it. This is a good book to pick up without having to worry about, do I need 10 other Numenera books? But Dean, wasn't the crawling this MCG's Numenera adventure, wasn't that based off of Glimmering Valley? Was it, or am I wrong about that?
No, I don't think it was. I don't think the crawling was in Glimmer Valley. I don't think it was. It was because like when you think about the way the Glimmering Valley is set up, it's literally set up that it is like we said, it's a starting place, but it's also extremely customizable for players, so players can have this as a base of operation. So it's like really cool in that respect.
It's also worth mentioning that this is a return of Monte Cook to Numenera, because a lot of the last few Numenera products, when you think of Monte Cook, you think of Numenera. He's the mastermind behind that whole setting. I don't think. I mean, he's worked a little bit on the last few Numenera products, but he hasn't written a full Numenera product like this one. This one was written by Monte.
When he was on the show, remember that's what he was saying. This was his kind of. He mentioned that he just he can never stay away from the ninth world, and he periodically has to jump back in. So definitely kudos to Monty for putting together such an interesting and useful tool that's also great just as an introduction to Numenera in general. It's a great, if you wanted to do some one-shots, you can set one-shots out of there as well. And it just works. It makes a lot of sense because you could have those characters, affect the rest of the world later. It's really just a really good product.
And I would just say this, like, Numenera is freaking awesome. Like, if you could, I love the Cypher system. I love creating my own settings, but you're doing yourself a disservice if you're playing Cypher system, you're playing MCG products, and you don't at least give Numenera a try as a player, or at least run it once, because it's the Forgotten Realms of MCG. It's the
not for nothing. Exactly, you hit the nail on the head. It is the modern day sandbox at Greyhawk or Faerun or any of those places where Numenera is that. There's so much lore that they have given you for the Steadfast and for Aeon Priest and for all of this, but the world itself is still untouched. It's, all of the books that we have, if it's giving you 10% of the lore of the world, it's giving you a lot. And that's what's really cool about it, because it feels like the real world. I mean, when you think about how expansive our knowledge is as individuals of the world itself, some of us are much more well-traveled than others of us, varying experiences. But when you really try to take it as a whole, every person's experience is a drop in the bucket. And that's what Numenera is, and that's what the Glimmering Valley gives you. It gives you those entry points into the world that you're going to create.
Not only that, there's very few settings that you could honestly say there's room for every form of genre within the setting itself, and it doesn't feel awkward or out of place or doesn't make sense. Like, Numenera is so broad that it could cover pretty much any genre within itself and still make sense, as the setting itself. So yeah, like I said, you don't have to run it but just at least play it once, to to enjoy Cypher System, to enjoy MCG, because I think it's just a wonderful setting.
You know what's crazy that you said that, Anthony? And I mean, I've known it, and you know, you saying it just kind of brings a whole nother clarity to it. You know, they gave us Numenera. Numenera has a specific overarching, you know, I guess you say, meta lore that makes it what it is. But it was, you know, when you think about it, every product that they put out at one point always had a conversion book for you to be able to inject that setting into Numenera. Remember, we got one for Unmasked, we got one for Predation, we got one for Gods of the Fall, which, you know, and then when you think about, like you said, the overarching meta idea of Numenera, you know, you can use the data sphere, you know, and you know, inject your modern worlds and everything else in there. You could use, you know, Edge of the Sun if you wanted to do a Mad Max style adventure. I mean, it's just so many, you know, dials and whistles when it comes to Cypher System, especially Numenera, before we even had Cypher System. So it's really cool as hell.
And I think Glimmering Valley was in part designed as, hey, look, I know that they have 50 freaking other books and it could be overwhelming, but if you have Discovery and Destiny and you want a starting point, a base, you could just pick up Glimmering Valley and you could go back and get these other books if you enjoy it or if you like it. But it's enough of a foundation that it's going to give you the feel of Numenera with the Discovery and Destiny books, and you could run with just that. Because I think a lot of settings make that mistake that they assume that everyone absorbed all the content from every book, and every once in a while it's good to. It's like dropping that starter set. Every once in a while, it's good to like give me that little starter set. Here's a small snippet of what this setting is, and you could play in this sandbox for a little while. And if you like it, fine, you can go get these 50 other books. But if you don't, okay, no big whoop, you lost $40. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah, I definitely like this approach, and I feel like it's been a while since we've gotten something that was like able to attract people to Numenera who might not necessarily have tried it before, because now there's this nice little starting area, like you said, like an MMO term, that starting zone. This is a nice little starting zone.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, what you gonna say, Dean?
No, I'm just saying it's just awesome. It's just awesome product. I like the Glimmering Valley, you know, for exactly what it is, and you know, and everything that it isn't, which is you know.
Usually in our streams, we spend a whole stream talking about one product, but since we've been away for a month, we had so much stuff to actually talk about. So I apologize if we're not going too in depth in anything, but we never really the in-depth guys. We more the idea guys. If you want full in-depth videos, go check Cat Hub. He does that sort of stuff. But and if you love Numenera and you want to see some Numenera content, even though they're not making videos anymore, check out Infinite Constructs channel. They still phenomenal videos on Infinite Constructs channel on all things Numenera. I can't express enough how great Claire's videos were, and I know her YouTube channel is still up, so you can definitely go check it out. So yeah, definitely check out Cat Hub, check out Infinite Construct if you want some in-depth, like actual reviews of these books. Last but not least, right? Charles just posted, MCG does this every year, but they're doing their holiday gift for charity is now available on their website. Right? Essentially what they do is they give you a $10 coupon. So whether you want to be, you know, Scrooge and keep it for yourself, you could do that. Or you could go and purchase stuff and donate the $10 coupon and they'll give it to a charity. So yeah, there's $10 waiting for you, MCG site store right now, guys. Head on over, right? And not only could you use the $10 to purchase yourself, in conjunction with whatever you're paying for a book, right? It's a code you use. Thanks, I'll post it in this 2023 MCG holiday gift. You get $10. You could gift it to someone else, or you could take the coupon, purchase your product, and allow them to donate the $10 to a charity. And this year, every year they pick 3 charities, and every charity is well deserving. This year is no different. Let me go over the charities that they have. I know I put it down there. The 3 charities that they're donating the $10 to, and you pick which one of these 3 charities you want. It's a charity called A Place Called Home. It serves disadvantaged youth in South Central Los Angeles through education and arts programs. Care Beyond the Boulevard. It provides medical and mental health care and support to the homeless and underserved populations in Kansas City, which is a phenomenal charity. And last but not least, the Role-Playing Game Creators Relief Fund provides financial assistance to tabletop game creators suffering hardships due to medical emergency and family stuff. This is the one I gave my $10 to. Like I said, you could just go. You don't even have to purchase anything, right? You could just go sign in for the coupon and allow them to donate the $10 to charity, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe so, yes. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I believe so.
And, with the holiday season coming up, for those that are less fortunate, it's great to, give back. And you don't have to make the commitment yourself. MCG will do it for you. It stands a testament of how great of a company they are. They do this every year. This is like the 3rd or 4th year they did this. And they donate a substantial amount of money to these charities. And I just think it's awesome, awesome, awesome. But if you're one of those persons in need, you don't need to. You can just take the $10 and buy yourself some, or buy a gift for someone else. You don't have to use it for the charity. It's all up.
Yeah, and that's an absolutely good point. But again, the nice thing about it is that, like Anthony said, it happens every year. It's like a standard. $10 isn't a lot, but it makes a difference to some people, and it can make a very big difference. To those people who are, benefiting from those charities.
Also, I like to say too and I can't stress this enough, even if you're not going to purchase anything, still go and donate the $10.
Right.
Like, it's not costing you anything to be generous, and like what Dean said, that $10 could go a long way to helping someone in need. And if it's not costing you anything but a few seconds of your time to go to the website and donate, pick which charity you want them to donate the money, please do.
Yeah, I'm for sure, knowing us, we already have all the stuff, so I'm definitely going to log in and toss that $10, probably towards the same one you did, the RPG Creators Relief.
Right.
Yeah, as someone who's also kind of going through that right now. Not that I need assistance or anything, but I definitely understand the plight. So yeah, definitely gonna kick my 10 towards them.
Yeah, MCG is just freaking awesome. They do all this stuff, behind the scenes, like stuff that we're not even privy to, of donating, helping people out. That they helped us out personally in situations. So I can't say enough of how generous and gracious they are of a company. From top on, from Monty and Shauna on down to everyone in the company. They're all so gracious and such wonderful people. And I just love
good human being. It's just good human beings, and I think. That's a testament to them too. With the community, we were able to help build. They helped. Without MCG, without Cypher System, we would not have this great community. So, everybody should pat themselves on the back. Everybody should literally just take a little moment and be kind of happy, because to be a part of this and to be able to, take $10 and, and that's just it. Think about it. $10 isn't a lot of money, but let's just say, 500 people, or 5,000 people donate that $10. That's $50,000. That's massive, and that's
Adds
what
up
it's
quick.
all about. It adds up quick, and that's the other, so everybody out there, everybody who's watching us tonight, MCG, holiday time and everything else, let's just remember that and let's continue to, be a light out here, and that's what I like to say about all of that.
Yeah, with that said, right? Since we're going into the holiday season, I just want to put everyone in chat and the two of your guys. If you could buy somebody one MCG product for the holidays, right? Just one product. What would you buy them and why?
I know the perfect answer for this, and I'm going to say it first just so I can usurp y'all if y'all had the same one. Whatever book KedHup wanted, I would get it for him. I already hooked him up with some of the books he was missing. It is a damn crime he does not have the full library and physical. So, yeah.
He needs his stocking.
But yeah, that would be who and what. Just anything you want.
And for those that don't know, anyone knows I'm kidding. I love KedHup, but that's we talk trash.
Yeah, and that's really the truth. And we love KedHup because not only did Al hook him up with the books, but I was the delivery man, so he didn't even have to worry about shipping and handling. Oh man,
Took him over the border for me.
Yeah, KedHup lives about an hour away from me, so it's like really easy to go hang out. We got to hang out again before the end of the year, Ked, if we can make it happen. But if I were gonna buy anybody anything, honestly, I don't know if there's like anybody in particular, but then again, I just look at it. I'd probably buy a copy of Invisible Sun and take it to my local game store and put it there as the store copy, so people could come in and play. I would love to give the gift of, that surrealistic ideology, the way the Invisible Sun is set up, because again, like we like to always say with MCG, a lot of things are simple, but they're extremely elegant. They can become extremely intricate, and the intricacies won't overbear you. So yeah, that's what I would do. Invisible Sun to my game store, so people could play.
For me, and chat, feel free to chime in. We'll definitely read some of you. For me, I take the bus and I take the train into work, and then I have to take a bus to go downtown, right? And there's a high school. This is funny. There's a high school that I on the bus route to get to work, right? It goes down 50th Street. There's a high school, and outside the high school on the window, there's a sign that I see every day, and it annoys me, and I don't know why. But it says D&D Club Wednesdays, 4:30 in room, like some random room, right? I just want to buy Discovery and Destiny and go to that room at that time and just drop it on the table, like, don't play that, play this, and then walk out.
Nice.
Do one better, run them a game. Be like, here, I'm taking over the club for today. Y'all are gonna play a great game today, and y'all can keep it afterwards.
Yo, but I see that sign every day. It's like D&D. It's like one of those satellite high schools. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's like a floor of a building. But I see the sign on the window every day. It's like Wednesdays, 4:30, room 217, D&D Club. I just want to go there with a copy of Discovery and Destiny and be like, hey, take it.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great idea, but I think Al's idea is you got to one up it because you got to run them first because you already know what people. If all you've been playing is D&D and stuff, people are not going to get the paradigm shift. They're not going to get it, and they're probably going to let it collect dust. So you got to show them.
John, well, I will buy everyone some shins so maybe they could get a better conversion rate than the original cost of the set. Oh, that's awesome.
I like what Jason said here. It's honestly saying D&D is the only way to get teams to walk through the door. Once there, you could probably get them to play anything. It's facts.
Very true. I don't know why that sign annoys me, but it just does.
Like I said, I actually had this discussion the other day, and it was funny. Somebody was asking about, D&D, and I was like, it's D&D. I know it. It's okay, but I don't run D&D anymore. They're looking at me like I'm crazy. Like, how could you not run D&D? Ran it for too long.
That guy that you wrote that you banned. First of all, as a native Spanish speaker, there's no gringos here on the stage anyway, so I don't know what you're talking about.
What happened?
Yeah, Al, you know what I'm talking about, right?
I don't.
Somebody wrote it was like a Spanish phrase that you banned.
Oh, yeah. I banned somebody. Yeah, sorry. I was half paying attention. Sorry.
One, racial, doing racial epitaphs. Freaking
Oh, yeah.
But none of us are here are gringos, so they didn't even get it right. Stupid.
Not a single one of us.
Not a single one of us. So get your insults right, you idiot.
Oh man, listen. Speaking of which, Anthony, I wish you had been here when the guy came in when we interviewed Bear. I don't know who was out there in the chat, but there was a guy who came in randomly in the chat and just started saying who we were, and it was great. It was like Bear was Dave, and Al was Bear's son.
So that's the kind of troll we need to see more often. If you even call that a troll, like that guy was awesome.
He said my name was Luke Simpson, and I ran a comic book store.
And I was Scooter.
Yeah, he was Scooter. It was great. It was funny.
Enough aside. I'm quite excited to after the stream is done, because literally as soon as the stream is done, I'm gonna go redeem my Devil's Dandy's dogs. I'm gonna redeem my The Weird. Gonna download that PDF and check out The Weird and do some solo play prep. Yeah, definitely Monte Cook Games have been doing quite a bit since we've been on.
Also, too, like we, keep it 100% honest. Since me and Al had these issues, we literally have nothing in live for the next month for content. So I'm gonna start scrambling either to get some interviews or come up with some show ideas and concepts. And once again, I apologize. Our minds were just not on.
Life has been hectic. It's been a lot going on.
In chat or going back and watching this on YouTube, and you have some cool ideas that you want us to talk about or concepts. We had some interviews on the line that unfortunately I may have lost, and I'll have to recontact these people. But what you call it? Please help us out. If you have any cool ideas, don't forget to send us a DM, post it in the chat, post it on the YouTube video when you see it. If you got anything you want us to talk about, let us know. We'll definitely come back. Come back bigger, better, stronger.
Mm-hmm. So, my final thoughts for tonight then is happy holidays, everybody. Get you some Devil's Dandy dogs going for the holidays, or the Glimmering Valley, or, pull out your weird book and put together an adventure just by those random prompts. Go crazy with it. Let's just have a good rest of 2023, and let's make 2024 a banger.
Yeah, absolutely. If you like us and you like what we do, join the Cypher Unlimited Discord server for all things Monte Cook Games. We have the largest fan run Discord server for anything MCG. There's games being played there daily. There's great conversations being had about all the MCG products. So go check it out and come join us and chat. But if Discord's not for you, join our Facebook group. It's not as big as our Discord, but there's still great conversations being had. Our videos are always free, but if you want to help us out in a little way, you can give us a little donation on Ko-fi. You know, it helps us out with little things like coming up with new product lines. And speaking of product lines, go to our online store and pick up some cool Cypher Unlimited merch. Or give us a subscription here on Twitch, or even follow if you can. Or go to our YouTube channel, like, share, and subscribe there. We finally hit 1,000. We're trying to hit 1,500. We really appreciate it. If you subscribe to our YouTube channel, it helps us out tremendously. Last but not least, we love you guys.
And as a quick reminder before we sign off here, the CypherCon shirt designs will still be available until the end of the year. Come 2024, they will be gone. So if you have not gotten a chance to grab a shirt with either my art or my husband's wonderful art, be sure to check it out and grab it, because come the 1st of January, it will be gone from the store. But yeah, thank you everyone so much for stopping by, having the show. We had a couple of new people swing by. Thank you so much for coming by. And I know you probably missed it, Anthony, but a new viewer just asked, how New York are you? Because of your accent. They're from Connecticut, so they spotted you a mile away.
I am born in Brooklyn, South Jamaica, Queens, raised. I am extremely New York.
So yeah, thank you so much, everyone. This has been a great comeback stream after our little hiatus, and we're hoping again, like Anthony said, to be doing a little bit more, or at least more consistently, like we used to do. So yeah, any ideas, send them our way, and we'll be happy to discuss them. But until then, from us at the CU, we will see you later.